Hey guys, I'm back with another action figure review, and this time we're going to take a look at the Marvel Legends Infinite Series All-Father Wave Classic Hawkeye. I always go off to say the name of these figures and then I just like forget halfway through what it even is. But yes, the long-awaited classic-ish Hawkeye from Hasbro. This was announced back in the Rocket Raccoon wave when the modern Hawkeye came out. And this was supposed to be the running change figure. Alas, it was one of the ones that disappeared, much like Sentry and Hyperion. And he has now come back because Hasbro is doing some things right. giving us things that they said they would and then failed to. So we've got him here in this new Avengers wave, you could call it, I guess. Well, no, I think the next one was really called that. Well, anyway, he is in the All-Father wave, which is the Odin or King Thor wave, and he looks pretty good. So I'm going to just show you the box, and then I'll get into the figure itself. You know, he's your typical box you got here. So, now this one is a little different, actually, from the previous reviews I just did. His says Avengers at the top. It has the Avengers logo down here, and on the sides as well, as you'll see in a moment. It says Marvel's Hawkeye, Marvel Legends Infinite Series. You got some artwork on the side, and again you have that Avengers logo, Avengers Initiative it says. Same on the other side. And then the back you have a shot of the figure, and it says, a master archer, Hawkeye takes down evil from afar. And then you have the rest of the wave, and, you know, the Build-A-Figure. So yeah, he has these Avengers Initiative logos all over his box, and it says Avengers at the top instead of Marvel, like the previous figures in this wave. So, yes, we'll bring him back in here and adjust the camera again. Now, before we get into him, the Build-A-Figure piece he came with was the torso to the Odin / King Thor. Mine has an Ares head on it right now. So he comes with this piece, and in the box it comes with the skirt on. I took mine off because I'm using this spare body for an Ares customized, obviously, and I won't be using this whole skirt. So, yeah, it comes with it like attached, but you can take it off, obviously, and then he just has this little leg joints that you put the legs on, upper body and all that. So you'll see this in my upcoming review of the Build-A-Figure as a whole. Unfortunately, no disc in the neck joint. Kind of a bummer. But let's go on here. So we have Hawkeye in his almost classic getup. I say almost classic because he does have the robot arm, whatever it is, sort of like mechanical arm, whatever you want to call it. But, you know, he does have his like classic little like tunic thing going on, and he has the helmet with the H on it and the little things. The fins don't really come off of it as much as they go like just back a little bit. I honestly feel like he looks a little bit too much like kind of like Captain America, like the figure. Like he looks a little bit like Steve Rogers under there as far as like the, oh, I have it right here actually, interestingly enough. Like this looks like they took Steve Rogers and sculpted a Hawkeye mask over it. Am I crazy? Maybe they did. I don't know, man. Looking at it like this, looks very similar to me. Okay, he doesn't have a butt chin. He doesn't have the crease in the chin and the dot in the chin. Okay, so it's slightly different, but I mean really, really close, and they don't like paint it differently enough to really differentiate them. And I don't know, with fins going back like this, you know, I can see why they did it. It kind of like modernizes the classic look a little bit, but honestly, I wish they were like a little bigger or a little off of the helmet. You know, I think it would look kind of cool. But, you know, whatever. What are you gonna do? Let me just show you the bow and quiver and everything before we go through here, and I can take that off then. Let me have your bow. Thank you. You can see you hold it pretty decently considering. it's not the best. It's literally just a piece of plastic. It's in purple. It has a plastic string. It's pretty lame. It's the same one as the modern Hawkeye, which I've not reviewed yet, but I will. Probably after I review this wave, I'll do like a couple legends that I missed out on reviewing, and then probably do some DC figures too, some DC UCs, old school. But we'll see. I'm not making any promises, but I mean, I will eventually get to them. So yeah, this is the same quiver as well. It's just repainted, well, recast in a purple color. It's annoying because you can't take out or put in any arrows for real. It's just cast this way. It's kind of heavy, this thing, so when I pop it into his back and try to like pose it or whatever, it's very loose back here and just kind of falls out. So I need to tighten that up, maybe put some hot glue in there and just kind of swish it around until it dries, or use some floor polish or something. So these are both pretty crummy. I mean, especially compared to the old school Hawkeye. That old Hawkeye, as the figure, wasn't maybe, you know, it wasn't the best. It had its issues and everything, but the accessories that it came with were awesome, and so it's no wonder that that guy still goes for a lot of money, like on eBay and stuff. So yeah, these are the accessories, you know, whatever. So look at the figure. His whole tunic thing is removable. You can see right here, it has a little clip, and then you can pull it off right here, and then lift off the head and pull it off if you want. And then underneath, he's just, you know, a Bucky Cap body with same boots as Bucky Cap, and then the same gloves actually too. He literally is Bucky Cap underneath. It's just repainted. And then he has this arm is actually from Winter Soldier, the movie Winter Soldier, which, I mean, I'm saying actually like it's a revelation. I'm sure you know that by now watching this, if you've seen other reviews, or if you have eyeballs and you have a Winter Soldier figure. But the same arm is from the movie Winter Soldier. Now, the issue with that is, for some reason, that Winter Soldier, who I have right over here, let's see him in for a second. That Winter Soldier, he's a little bigger than your standard Marvel Legends, like a Bucky Cap right here, which is funny because they're both Bucky. And for that reason, they gave him slightly longer arms. They lengthened, it looks like they lengthened both the bicep area and the forearm. And so this figure's arms seem to be roughly the same length. But when you take his longer and elongated, you know, robot arm and put it on a body that has an already existing kind of short arm, you get this. You get one arm that is quite a bit longer than the other. I mean, I guess you don't really see it, like, clearly unless you really, oops. Unless you really compare. But if you, like, push them down side by side, you can see that the left arm is definitely longer. And you can see that it's, like, in the forearm, you really see that they lengthened it right here. Now that I'm looking at here, the bicep maybe doesn't look as long. But the forearm is definitely longer, and the weird part is, like, when you look at it like this and the arms are out, his regular human arm looks bigger than his, like, robot arm. Now, and I don't, you know, I mean, I don't really know why Hawkeye ever has a robot arm. I'm not well versed on my Hawkeye history, but I'm assuming, you know, it's not like, it's not going to be skinnier than his regular arm. If anything, I'd imagine it would be, like, thicker, like an arm with, like, armor on it. I feel like it should have that vibe. So, you know, I understand them wanting to reuse parts and all, but they should have just, like, cut this forearm down a little bit, you know? Like, I'm kind of curious. I mean, I might want to do that in the future. You could get away with just, like, trimming, you know, boil this up, and then, like, take an X-Acto knife and literally slice it, maybe, like, right here, in this first groove. And then you just have to drill out the arm a little bit to recreate this joint. And then it would line up a lot better. But I mean, that's really nitpicky, I suppose. Once you have them posed and everything, I guess you don't notice. It's just, like, really weird that they... I don't know. It's weird that they decided to give him a robot arm and not just give us both human arms, like a more classic look. Excuse me. But I guess maybe they wanted to separate this figure from the Toy Biz Classic Hawkeye a little more. So right now we have Toy Biz Classic Hawkeye, which has 2 regular arms, a bunch of cool accessories. You have the modern Hawkeye that, you know, looks totally different. It's the new one. And then you have this guy, reimagined Classic Hawkeye, but he has the robot arm. I'm sorry if it's not like a robot arm, I'm just calling it that because that's what it looks like and whatever. So you have kind of like 3 sort of different looks. So, you know, whatever. And this one comes 2 per case, so my plan, and I don't know if I think I mentioned this in like one of my haul videos, is I would ideally, I don't know if I'm going to go through with it necessarily, I'd ideally like to like take one of them, like this guy, swap out his arm and put in a people arm and have like a more classic looking Hawkeye, and then take my extra Hawkeye and keep this arm and kind of just repaint him in the correct colors and make him look a little more evil looking and make him the dark Avengers Hawkeye for my setup. So I don't know how much I'm going to go in depth with the 2 of them, but we'll see in the future. If not, if I don't end up doing like 2 of them, it'd be, well, no, I want a classic Hawkeye and I want a Dark Avengers Hawkeye, so I'll be using them, but otherwise it's a great basic, you know, Bucky Cat body buck for customs, aside from the fact he has this arm. But yeah, so let me just give you a quick little look close up again at his like face. Sorry, I'll move the light down a little bit. So let me just phase it. I still think it looks like Steve Rogers. He's got his ears poking out. H up there. So this whole piece is separate, so it kind of lifts up and looks kind of goofy sometimes. When it sits down, it's nice. It has the scale, like the scale mail in there. You got the robot arm, same as Bucky. It's cast in the swirly purple plastic. And then this is just all one piece, plasticky, kind of hard plastic, but it looks, you know, like it should. He's got purple boots, Bucky Cap boots. No, like, sleeve cuff boat here, just painted. Kind of fine. Blue gloves, same in the back. So he's got a peg hole in the back that goes, you know, for his quiver. Again, it's loose. It doesn't like to stay in there for me. But what are you gonna do? So I'll go through articulation. His head will go up. It's on the ball jointed disky, whatever you want to call. It will go side to side and all that. Arms will go up and down and around. This one's ratchety. This one is a little less ratchety. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, twist at the wrist, and a hinge. He's got a trigger finger on this one because Bucky Cap had it. I mean, Winter Soldier had it. And he's got like a bow holding hand on this hand. Well, actually, it's kind of like a trigger finger, too. It's kind of like a, I guess not a trigger finger, but I don't know. It's weird. So you kind of have to hold the bow in this hand, and then this one can be like pulling the string back, even though it's not a string. I kind of wonder if it's possible to cut this off and put like a real string in it and make it look a little better and maybe paint it up a little bit. That'd be kind of cool. Anyway, he has an ab crunch under there. This kind of limits him a little bit, but yeah. He's got a waist twist. You got hips that'll go out to about here, forward and back and around and all that. He's got the cut in the thigh. He's got double jointed knees, swivel at the boot cuff, and his tiny little Bucky Cap feet that go forward and back and to the side. So overall, you know, it's if you know, for me, I don't want to pay, you know, $35-40 for the Series, I think 6 Classic Hawkeye. And I actually have an incomplete one, like I got it in a fodder lot that has just the body. I don't think it has a head. And I can just see, looking at the figure, it's kind of just like outdated looking. The only thing I'd want from it is his accessories. That's the only thing I don't have from it. And, you know, what are you gonna do? For you know, $20, or I think the cost of the case, when I bought this as a case, I think I ended up getting them for like less than 20 bucks a figure ultimately. So, you know, for this cost, he's good. He's fine. You know, I'll take him, and I might, you know, mod him a little bit, and well, mod both of them for 2 different purposes, and see how it goes. You know, I might try playing with the bow a little bit. This is just a shame, but whatever. But yeah, no, he's like worth the regular retail price. I wouldn't go, you know, paying skyrocketing prices for him just because you really, you know, you can't find him or something. He's not quite that worth it. One thing I did want to do that I forgot, sorry, I'm going to do quickly before I wrap this up, which is going long, I'm sorry, a comparison with the modern Hawkeye, which I know I haven't reviewed yet, but just bring him in here. I really like this one, the look of it. I just think I like the modern look for Hawkeye. So, you know, I will review this in the future, but just so you can see how they look. And, I mean, that guy just doesn't look like that guy without a mask. I mean, that guy doesn't look like that guy without a mask. Or, that guy doesn't look like that guy with a mask. Sorry, guys. But, whatever. They're both decent figures, and I'm happy to have them. So, yes, buy it if you want, don't buy it if you don't. I mean, what else can I say? I don't want to go on forever. So this has been my review of the Marvel Legends All-Father Wave Hawkeye classic sort of looking one. So thank you for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the rest of this wave, and I'll see you in the next one.